Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. I think that's how you say his name. It's by the creators of the Gruffalo. I don't know how well you can see, but it's all really cute illustrations of cats. Tabby McTat was a busker's cat, with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the old checked hat, and this was their favourite song. Me, you and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, ow, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. One morning while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll round the block, then stopped, for there on the tall step sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She was black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat, and that's how the story began. For while they were chatting of this and that, a thief had his eye on the old checked hat. He eyed it, he snatched it, he ran. The busker gave chase, but he tripped on a lace, and crash, in a flash he was down. He broke his leg and banged his head, and he ended up in a hospital bed in a faraway part of town. Goodbye, McTat said, I must get back to Fred. But where had the busker gone? The sun went down and the sky grew black. The stars came out, but he didn't come back. McTat lingered on and on. A week later, Sock took a stroll around the block and found her new friend looking thin. He's gone off and left me, said Tabby McTat. Then Sock said, my people Brunella and Pat would gladly find room for a fine tabby cat. She was right, and they took McTat in. Next morning, old Fred left his hospital bed and found his way back to the square. But a brass band stood where the pair once sat, and the band played this and the band played that. And Fred looked all around for his long meowed cat, but Tabby McTat wasn't there. washing Brunella and bouncing on Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspaper nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional pat and nibbling this and nibbling that. But he dreamed of his friend with the old checked hat and always woke up with a mew. And often he said, "What happened to Fred?" and his pulse took him back to the square. But a conjurer stood where the bear once sat, and he pulled out this, and he pulled out that, and people threw coins in the tall black hat, but the busker was never there. One morning Sock said, "Look under the bed and see the 3 kittens I've had." And Soames looked like this, and Susan looked like that, and the littlest kitten called Samuel Spratt looked exactly like exactly the same as his dad. The 3 kittens grew and they learned how to mew, and McTat sometimes sang them his song. And Samuel Spratt, with his tabby grew fur, had a deafening meow and a very loud purr, and he simply loved singing along. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Meow and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. Then Susan and Soames found very good homes. Their parents were happy and proud. There was one home like this and one home like that. But nobody wanted poor Samuel Spratt. They all said his voice was too loud. Now Tabby McTat was a home-loving cat, but he couldn't stop dreaming of Fred. And one day he called his wife and his son, and he told them, "There's something that has to be done. I must go and find him," he said. So up and down and all over town he wandered a whole week long. For many a morning and afternoon, by the light of sun and the light of the moon, till he heard a familiar song. Just me and the old guitar. If I had a cat, I'd be happier far. Just me and the old guitar. With my cat, I'd be happier far. It's Tabby McTat, it's my long-lost cat. Old Fred was ecstatically glad. Then the 2 of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the new checked hat. But why did McTat feel sad? He was missing his wife and his comfortable life and the dozens of things to do, like washing Brunella and bouncing on Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspapers nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional pat. But how could he tell the busker that? Then out from the shadow sprang Samuel Spratt. "Oh, please let me be the busker's cat," he said with his deafening meow. Now Samuel Spratt is the busker's cat with a meow that is loud and strong. The 2 of them sing of this and that, Samuel sings just a little bit flat, and people threw coins in the old checked hat. And this is their